First, let's welcome in our Powerhouse panel. Joining Allison and myself is Project 21 National Advisory Board member and radio host Christopher Arps with us, and best-selling author and political analyst Mark Halperin back in Manhattan. Panel, great to see you. Happy
Rob?
Friday. Yes, Chris, go ahead. You're live with Rob and Allison.
Before we start, I forgot to tell you guys, I am no longer with Project 21.
Chris, you know what? What are you with now?
April Fools! Sorry.
Did I fall that easily?
You did.
You did.
Hook, line, and sinker, Mark, to use a fishing term, a fishing analogy. Mark, do you have anything for us today? I expected more.
I mean, I saw Chris's gag coming a mile away. I'm embarrassed for you.
Chris is pretty good. Chris, you got me. You got me with that one. Okay, well, you know what else got me yesterday? This is not an April Fool's joke. Joe Biden's plan to bring down gas and energy prices. By the way, by taking 1 million barrels a day out of the petroleum reserve, he's going to do that over 180 days. So it's going to take 6 months. It's going to take a long time for this to make any difference in gas prices. The national average today, $4.22 a gallon. Here's Joe Biden once again with the most ineffective slogan I've heard thus far in 2022. Take a listen.
Today, I want to talk about one aspect of Putin's war that affects and has real effects on the American people. Putin's price hike that Americans and our allies are feeling at the pump. Our family budgets, your family budgets, to fill a tank, none of it should hinge on whether a dictator declares war.
Okay, here's Nancy Pelosi on gas prices. Take a listen.
I don't think any president would say that he himself made that happen. Of course, the public policy that we're engaged in made it happen. It's the way it is. The price of oil went down from, what, 140 to 105. Have you seen it go down at the pump? It costs a lot of money in California. If you drive around in California and see the cost, you think, how could this be?
All right, we've got a picture we'll show you in a moment of the gas prices in parts of California, almost $10 a gallon. Mark, the average price for a barrel of gasoline, there it is. Look at this. This is Furnace Creek. So this is Death Valley, California, earlier this week. $9.43 a gallon. Wow. That's what they're paying in the state of California. Can you imagine that? 2 gallons for 20 bucks? Mark, under Donald Trump, when he left office, oil was $24 a barrel. Today, it's just under 100. Does this actually help Joe Biden in any way politically before the midterm elections? Because 6 months from now we're knocking on the door of November 8th.
Maybe half a day of headlines on inflation and the cost of energy. People aren't interested in photo ops, and this is true of presidents of both parties. They turn to the Strategic Petroleum Reserve drawdown because you get a day of coverage, look like you're being bold and decisive. But there's not an economist alive, and usually you can find an economist to say anything, but there's not an economist alive who thinks that this is actually going to help gas prices.
Chris, what do you make of this this whole thing? This is Joe Biden's talking about this will bring down the price of a gallon of gas by maybe 20 cents. We're at a record high still today at $4.22 nationwide. What do you make of this?
This is an absolute gimmick. The president has already tried this before, and it didn't lower gas prices at all. And this is not what the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is for. It's supposed to be if we have like an oil embargo or war. It is not supposed to help the president's failing ratings. And I also think it highlights the craziness of this when we have a 200 supply of coal in this country. We're sitting on oceans of oil on our coast. But we're begging Iran and Venezuela to pump more oil. It's crazy.
Allison?
This is like, those small Band-Aids, not even a regular size Band-Aid. This is like a mini Band-Aid that he's doing.
Oh, the kids' ones?
Yeah, the kids' Band-Aids.
Like the little circle one?
Yeah. As Chris said, he's done this twice. It has not done anything. This is meant for emergencies. There's other things that he can do. We use 20 million barrels a day in the U.S. Again, this is not going to make a big change. This will be headlines over the next few days. But this is the problem is people say this is not the long-term solution. This is just a quick fix.
Well, Allison, as Mark knows well, this is Putin's price hike.
Well, yeah, that's what they want everyone to think.
Price hike. It's great alliteration. It's a catchy slogan.
I would like to take wagers on everybody pick a date. I say April 15th. What's the last day they'll try to peddle this line, even though people aren't buying it?
I don't know.
I think they'll keep with it.
Did you hear it there? Did you hear it there a moment ago in his Joe Biden soundbite? He's out there yesterday. And I think what he thinks is that there are dumb Americans, stupid Americans out there that are like, Joe Biden said it, so it must be true. Nobody believes it when he says this. The polling proves that, Mark. You look at that Monmouth poll,
I know,
6% of the American people blame this on the war in Ukraine.
You taking the over or the under? He stops using it by April 15th, before or after?
Over.
Over. Yeah, over.
Over.
Chris?
Okay.
And there's an American Petroleum Institute survey, take it for what it's worth. It says 85% of Americans want us to drill here in the United States for more oil.
So a Quinnipiac poll out yesterday, 41% of Americans blame Joe Biden for high gas prices. According to Quinnipiac, 24%, so higher than that Monmouth poll, are blaming the war in Ukraine. But that same Quinnipiac poll has Joe Biden's approval rating at 36%. Mark, can they do anything, the Democrats? They haven't shown me that they care to do anything to change the narrative around this party heading into the midterm elections. This could be on par with what we saw in 2010, the first Barack Obama midterm elections.
Well, yeah, I think they can change the narrative. What they're doing on immigration, loosening up controls at the border, will actually change it for the worse, I think. But you meant, could they change it for the
Mark,
better?
I meant it for the positive, Mark. For the positive.
I mean, they're certainly trying different things. They're trying to move certain pieces of legislation, some partisan, some bipartisan. The president's using different rhetoric. But until and unless inflation looks better, until and unless people have a sense that the country's headed in the right direction, I don't believe that the party's fortunes can be dramatically changed.
Now, and Allison, we should note that we've got 220 days until November 8th, the midterm elections, and that is several separate individual political eternities between now and then. So a lot can change. But I want to show you a Joe Biden tweet from a week ago. And this is classic stuff. But again, this is Putin's price hike. Our economic strategy has worked, and it's still working. We created 6.7 million jobs last year. Unemployment down to 3.8%. By the way, we'll get updated March unemployment numbers later this morning. Our economy grew by 5.7% last year. We reduced the deficit by $360 billion. Guys, 7.9 inflation. That is a tax every day on every American in this country. So essentially, Joe Biden has raised taxes in his 15-month in office. Everything is more expensive now.
He can say he can blame Putin. Nancy Pelosi can blame Putin. But the reality is that people are seeing this firsthand. So you can say whatever you want. You've created jobs. A lot of those jobs were from COVID. But we're seeing these gas prices. We're seeing inflation. We can't get things on the shelves. Everything is going up. Interest rates are going up. Home prices have skyrocketed. So when this is affecting everyday people, no matter what he says, the reality is it's hitting us here at home. So it's not going to change anything.
Mark, I see your gas prices question, and I raise you this. Chris, I want to get you in. We've got about 15 seconds left. On 2024, when it comes to the Democratic nominee, is there any possible way that Joe Biden is the nominee in 2024? Mark, you first. That Joe Biden is the nominee.
I would just say quickly, the price of Chris Arp jokes has not gone up at all. That's one. Immune from the price hikes. I don't think he's going to run. I think it's a better chance. Many other people being the nominee. I put him about fourth most likely.
Oh, okay, Chris.
I don't think he's going to run. And I don't think he's going to run, and I don't think the Democrats are going to focus on economic issues. It's going to be cultural issues like abortion and the "Don't Say Gay" bill in Florida.
And you see this yesterday? I'm reading this article. Thousands of Americans canceling Disney Plus yesterday. There's going to be a hole in the market, and I think other companies are going to try to fill that void. But a lot of people canceling Disney Plus because of this. Mark, final thought. Go ahead. Jeez, you're a talker today.
2 words: Thinnerty Plus.
I like it. I like it. We need programming, though. We could do what Chris Wallace is doing. Apparently, he's not going to be on the great CNN Plus. He's going to be over on CNN, the broadcast network, so we can all look forward to that. We heard that news yesterday. Mark, it looks like that's news to you. You didn't read that, so that's good. All right, panel, we'll pick this back up. Top of the hour. Happy April Fool's Day to you. Chris, Mark, we'll see you in just a little bit. Thank you.